This is the trigger warning for our show. Please understand that various monsters had various victims and hunted in various ways depending on the folklore, mythology, or stories that were told about them. Please understand that it is not our intent to upset you. You will be given other warnings and additional warnings depending on the episode, but this is our blanket statement. We didn't write the myths, but we are using them to tell our story. Also, this is the content warning for our show. There will be cursing. There will be some interesting ideas. We will take it in where we can, but be warned, there was beer involved.
What if I told you there is a world where not only are monsters like vampires and werewolves real, but they have rights, just like you and me. And in this world, there exists a secret government organization dedicated to keeping you safe and making sure they follow the rules. Welcome to Anarium, a Monster of the Week podcast.
Hey everyone, it's Cameron, and I play Bernard on the show. And I just wanted to take a second here and thank all of you, the listeners, for getting us over 225 total downloads. It's not much, but it means a lot to us, and especially those of you that have stuck with us from the beginning and been listening and messaging us. We really appreciate it. This is so much fun to make, but knowing that you guys appreciate it and are enjoying it as well, it just makes it that much more worth it. So thank you all. And if you guys want to take a second to go give us a review on iTunes or whatever you listen on to help us find some new listeners, that would be even better. So thanks so much. 225 is a pretty big milestone. We appreciate it. And I think that's all I need to say. I'm going to go ahead and let this episode get started. Thank you.
Welcome back to Anarium. I'm Sam. I'm your keeper. I designed this world with friends and we've played in it for years. These are the folks that are playing with me today. Please introduce yourself, gents.
Hey, I'm Taylor Catron. I play Marcellus Corvinson, 1100-year-old vampire.
And I'm Cameron Baker. My voice is cracked really bad. I'm actually a 31-year-old man.
No, he's not. He's a 12-year-old in the chair.
And I have two children. I play Bernard, who is rapidly becoming more hillbilly. I've noticed, as I've been talking. I didn't mean to do it, but I don't know. I'm falling into the character. We'll see.
Let him grow.
Yeah, he's a little more hillbilly than I originally intended. But
and our friend from thousands of miles away.
Yeah, living underground with the mole people. Actually, I'm living above ground, right? Denver, Colorado, way above ground here. Rob Hamilton, I'm playing Orpheus, and I have a god-awful French accent from a 300-year-old Creole swamp monster. Let's have fun today, boys.
You're not above ground, you're above sea level.
Before we start, and we jump
I'm above ground. I mean, I'm walking above ground. Actually, I'm in a basement. I am below ground.
Well, it's good to be back with Samuel Herber.
My mom reached out to me after she listened to the first episode, and she's like, my only problem is they spelled your name wrong in the notes. And I was like, what? And I looked at it, and I was like, he put a T on the end. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody's Googling for me, it'll be fine. She was like, no, they need to know it's you. And I was like, anybody who listens to this for more than 2 minutes is going to know it's me.
Dude, I used to do that to Natasha in high school all the time, and she was pissed.
Yeah, that's on me. It's Samuel Herber, not Herbert.
No, we're good. Okay, so it's been a few weeks since you guys. It's been a week. It's important to note. It's been a week since you guys dealt with our large angler fish in the bayou. At the end of that mission, after you dealt with the biolly changed and not quite engineered, but definitely altered creature.
Bio-enhanced.
There we go. You guys were given gear points, which is a system created in another podcast, which as soon as I remember its name, I will give it credit. I thought it was really amazing. In this game, you only get certain equipment to start. And if you're planning on playing a character for more than a few sessions and you really want them to grow, there needs to be a way for them to acquire new things. So gear points were created. You get 1 gear point for every level of experience, not level, but for every experience point you get at the end of the game. You each got 3. You did really well on your first mission. How would you guys like to spend those? Traditionally, you do at least the pointage for the damage. So if you're going to start carrying a new handgun and it does 3 damage, that's how much it's going to cost to start. When we start adding on things, like if you have a gun already, you're like, oh, I really want this to have piercing ammunition. I don't want to have to deal with armor anymore. It's the cost of the gun plus 2 points. That's 5 gear points to make it no longer be affected by armor. It needs to be expensive. I don't need you guys to be gods. I want you
Right.
guys to do well, but it needs to be expensive and it needs to come slowly so that way you guys aren't just walking into every situation. Because my ability to throw things at you with this system is a little limited, so I need to keep it fair. Otherwise, I've got monsters doing 7 damage, so that way when you guys shoot them twice and they die, they can still be a threat.
Right.
So what are you thinking about these gear points? What do you think you would have? And don't forget, Bernard still has a gree bag from Mama.
Yeah.
That's important to keep in your notes.
Yeah.
Just so
Yeah.
that way if it ever comes up, you know you have access to it. It's good against ghosts. It will give you a +1 or -1 depending on if you're doing harm or taking harm.
Okay. Yeah, I've got that. And honestly, I've been thinking about it because we had talked about there are some upgrades that I definitely want to add to Lucille later.
Mhm.
But I realized that what I want to do might be, well, it's definitely going to be expensive.
Mhm.
So I might hold mine
Okay.
right now, just because, like, what I have in my head to do is going to be really cool.
Mhm.
But we haven't discussed, and I don't even really know how much it would cost because I don't want to be we'll talk about it when it gets there. But I think right now, I feel pretty good about what I have,
Mhm.
and I don't feel, if I don't upgrade something right now, I don't think I'm going to be at a disadvantage. So I think right now I might just hold mine.
For like ammunition stuff, because that's something that we're kind of introducing, you pay 2 gear points and you can have silver ammo for one
Okay.
session. It's just one session and then you've used it. The idea that you'd have it and carry it for that game, it's kind of newish. Just want to make sure you guys knew it's the normal gun damage. So if it's a Magnum, it's 3. If it's a normal handgun, it's 2. You get it for the session and then it's gone. You've spent it. You've used it. But
Okay.
they can be important. And if you buy it for a game because you think we're going up against werewolves and it's not, you still have it
I was just
until
gonna
you
ask
use
that.
it.
Yeah.
So it's an inventory until
yes,
used.
it's an inventory until you make a choice to either use it or it's gone. Okay.
Hey, guy in Denver, talk real quick, just so your audio didn't drop
Yep.
again. Okay,
I
good.
muted
He
myself.
muted
Cough,
himself.
I'm
Cool.
sorry.
Still got Rob. Just
I
wanted to make
watched him.
sure.
I saw it.
we were having some audio difficulties earlier, so just wanted to make sure.
So the $1 million question is, what does a 300-year-old swamp creature do with currency it doesn't understand?
I would assume that Orpheus goes back and you guys show him the armory and you're showing him around, and Orpheus is just in bewilderment. Like, how did we get back from the bayou to Kansas?
Most likely by vehicle.
Okay.
By vehicle or portal, because you guys portaled there.
We portaled to Tennessee.
That's true. You guys portaled in and then you flew. So most likely
we drove.
a mixture.
drove.
Oh,
'Cause
you
we
guys
drove
did drive
down
because
Route
you
66.
had a mission to do first. Okay.
So we didn't portal. That
So
was
you
the
would
other
probably go to the nearest Anarium headquarter, go to the basement, and portal back to Kansas, but you would have spent some time in a car and then
Yeah.
wound up back through a portal, which wouldn't have been unfamiliar to you, given your history.
Yeah, the portal wouldn't bother him, but I'm thinking these horseless carriages amaze Orpheus. I do not know what these funds do, and I do not understand this world.
Don't worry,
I
it's
will-
a hybrid, so it's safe on the environment.
I don't picture the 200
I only
pound,
understand half of that.
the 300-pound mixture of tree and rock sitting in the back of a Prius with his knees up to his eyes. Like,
You
I
gave
don't
us a
like
focus.
this.
I don't want to
Oh, it was
about
a focus. All right, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true. But still,
You gave
Not
a
much better.
6'5" and a 6'3" guy.
you guys will be fine.
Focus.
You'll be comfortable. You'll be fine.
And you got an 8-foot monstrosity in the back.
I mean,
We're
it's
towing him on a trailer.
a horse.
Strap me to the hood.
I just want to. Can I just shoot? I just want to shoot into the car, create a sunroof so his head.
Like,
He just pokes his. No, but I can see it.
that'd probably help us too.
Not getting that deposit back.
All right, so
Yeah, I don't want to be boring, but at the same time, I don't know that I would. Obviously, I understand bartering in a system, but I may not understand all these tools and all these weapons yet. My former banker life wants to come in. Can I invest these? Can I put these 3 gear points into a a trust fund to later on?
Bro.
that is not how gear points work.
Well, see, and that's where I'm at too. I don't want to be boring, but at the same time,
You don't know what you need yet.
Yeah, I don't know what I need, and I
Yeah.
don't want to like waste
It's
it.
still early enough
Right.
in the game that I
Yeah.
don't know that spending them right away is the option. I know I'm saving up for like some kind of armor and like a tactical rifle. So I'm
I
just going to
don't-
save mine for that. I know that
That's
for a fact.
fair. Yeah, I don't know that Orpheus would understand well enough how things work. He would probably spend them when he's like, okay, well, that's an area of need.
Yeah. I want Marcellus to get like a Kevlar like suit.
It's
That's kind of what my
Is that what
that's kind of what I was
That's
going
doable.
for.
I thought you were
Sweet.
hillbilly. Don't you mean Kevlar flannel?
Oh no, Marcellus,
No,
not
Marcellus.
yeah.
not
Marcellus
sorry,
is
sorry,
not
sorry.
hillbilly, my friend.
No, Marcellus
He
is
is
always
refined.
in a
Apologies.
suit.
As you wear flannel.
yeah.
I am wearing flannel. That's how ironic.
Okay, so it's been a week. Everybody's banking their points, which is fine. I completely get that. We will start with Orpheus. You have come into this new world. You are in the base in Arkham, Kansas. Your ability to walk around is limited by how you look. It has been explained to you that a glamour can be purchased. We will not use that against your gear points, as it's something that as an agent, though temporary, as you are right now, you are a probationary agent. You're new. They believe that you can handle yourself, and you've really only kind of bonded with these two people. But it's like a small pepper grinder, and when you grind it, all the different ingredients grind together to create an illusion that you look normal as a human, as far as normal goes. You don't have to use this if you don't want to. There will be opportunities where you do, and each grinder gets 3 charges, so you can turn it off or turn it back on as we play through a session.
Okay.
But where would you be in the base? What would you be doing? This is all so new to you.
Being very overwhelmed, Orpheus would very much want to find a place that's home. 300 years, he's never really left the swamp. He's seen some technology that maybe he doesn't understand, but he's never seen anything like this, I would imagine. Does the Anarium have a botanical garden-esque?
We can have something of an arboretum. I don't think that's the right word for it, and I apologize. But, yep, there's an area where different spellcasters would be growing different plants for what they need, and different trees, things that might be paranormal in their creation and what they are, finding a place where it can be safe. We don't have to worry about people chopping it down, like living trees with personalities. Think the old woman in the tree in Pocahontas is chilling down there just like, oh, hey, what's up, guys? You want some wisdom?
Boy, are those spellcasters going to be so excited when he comes in there and grows those plants so much more powerful.
Right.
Than they were
Like, you
before.
did what?
They're gonna be like,
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, that sounds like home to him.
It is not a sterile environment in the way that it is set up. They have let wildlife grow free in this area. It is dirt on the floor, things in here. Think of it almost as like a zoo, in that they are letting things grow naturally and interact with one another the way they're supposed to. Pollination's a little weird, but it can be done by things that we have, whether it be by magic or other creatures. But this is a space that when you walk into it, it feels like you're outside at night, depending on if the lights are on or not, because they do shut things off at night. Plants don't need light 100% of the time.
Yeah, this is absolutely where Orpheus would set up shop. Not inherently a desk. Maybe he's not a desk jockey, but he would be doing his work here. He would be tending to the grounds. He would be literally rooting at night into the soil. This is where Orpheus would be hanging out, getting to know the flora and such. I think I would just be going down to the arboretum, whatever we called it, and acclimating myself.
As you are in there, you find that there is life in here, not just plants. There is flora and fauna that exists in this region, and one of them is a teeny tiny little 2 inches tall person. It's not a person so much as it is a weird human wasp hybrid. This little guy walks around with a sharpened pencil with a razor blade attached to it. He is a warrior for the hive that exists here.
Ooh.
One of their primary abilities is to pollinate. Like I said, there are different creatures that exist, but this particular one who's missing an antenna has decided it likes you. Not in like a weird way, but just it's like, oh no, hey look, it's kind of like us. He's different and weird. So you constantly have this teeny tiny little wasp person sitting on your shoulder trying to talk to you, but most of the time all you hear is
This is like a reverse Groot situation.
Now, if you want, we can have it be canon that you understand everything that he's saying to you. But understand that that means you're going to have to roleplay the conversations that you're having with him. Are you okay with that, or would you rather be ignorant?
If he is okay with me calling him Jacques and just kind of working around with him, having him help me tend the grounds, I can do this.
He is fine with you being an ignorant giant who won't learn his name. But he just sits on your shoulder.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes. I know. I will tend these lands. I will till the soil. But now I must get some rest, Jacques.
As he flies back off to his hive. Because, I mean, when you're sleeping, like, he's watching you from a distance to make sure you're safe, because he's your buddy. And, whoa, be warned, anybody who tries to come in here at night, because he is not the only 2-inch tall wasp person with a razor blade attached to a pencil. 1,000 tiny cuts. And that's when he's not just biting you with his mouth.
Oh, it's fiberglass.
Death by 1,000 cuts. Oh.
Bernard, where would you be right now?
So we just got back, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's been about a week since you got back.
oh, that's right. So I guess what I would like to say is, so we have not gone back to see Mama Teresa, right?
Not yet. I mean, you
Okay.
could have gone to visit her before we left, and if that's something you want to role play out right now, we can.
We did.
We did stop in and see her before you
Did we?
left.
Okay.
'Cause
Yeah.
You went to sleep there, and he and I sat there.
that's
and he
right.
got the mask, and
That's right. That's right. Did I give her all of the bioluminescent goop
Yes.
in the
No,
scale?
Yeah. No.
You kept that.
Well, I know.
kept
You gave her
Some.
some of it, but you kept the rest.
Okay, I was gonna say that's what I wanted
She
to.
didn't want all of it. She just wanted like a vial of it.
Okay,
You
cool.
took, like, 2
Then
or
I would like to say, like, when we got here, I would like to say that, like, I think I gave it to whatever department
Okay.
would maybe be. I don't know what they would learn from it.
We can say that is where they learned that this is a bioengineered,
Okay.
biolly altered creature.
And I guess they could have got their own too, so it doesn't make
that
sense. But
by changing the genetics of the males that attached to it, and when their circulatory systems became one, that is why this female anglerfish became so large, and that this was maybe not intentional, but they were planning on something
Okay.
happening that size and that amount of aggression, maybe not it, but through evolution and not keeping a close eye on this experiment, somebody lost track of it, and it became your problem.
okay. Well, I think what I'll do is, because like I said, they've probably already looked at all this. So whatever of the goop I have left, it just kind of sits on my desk.
You just glow.
There's just a jar of glowing goop on my desk.
Don't ask. It's cool.
So I think what Bernard would be doing is what we've discussed is either at his desk, just reading up on something, and it may even just be fiction. He does like because a lot of times, what is it? Art reflects, or how's that?
Life reflects art.
Yeah, like, and
like
it goes. So he doesn't mind reading fantasy novels and things like that, and especially as we've kind of gotten into some vampires and certain creatures help other writers. So he might even learn a little something in a fiction book. So he's either doing that or he's at a local bar, just kind of.
What would you
Eating
rather
peanut
him
butter?
be doing?
I think we just he had a pretty rough time, so I think he probably would be at the bar. I don't think he feels like reading right now, so he's probably somewhere with a glass of bourbon.
Okay. We will open on that scene. We are standing behind a man. This man has, think John Krasinski from The Quiet Place. That big brother feeling, Boy Scoutish, but still capable. He's wearing a red wool sweatshirt, jeans, leather jacket wrapped around his arm. It's not that cold out tonight. He walks into this bar and immediately makes a beeline for you. You guys make eye contact. You recognize Troy Walsh instantly.
Okay.
This man is a lycanthrope. Now, werewolves and lycanthropes are kind of different. You might consider him more of a shapeshifter, but that is for another time when the character is more important. He is a lycanthrope. He walks up to you with a big smile on his face, and he goes, "Yatahe, old man. What are you doing here?"
Just having a drink. You know, I always knew you'd become a pilot.
I've been a pilot since Vietnam before you were born. Yeah, so maybe.
Yeah, it's because you got a patchy beard.
That hurts. Ooh, that would hurt. It would. If, I didn't see you here drinking yet again.
I think you just, take a sip.
So do you want me to kick your ass on this pool table again? I'm in here for a mission, but apparently they've got time before things get started. They're thinking about kicking it off. They got me flying Overwatch for somebody tonight. But if you want, I can beat your ass at a pool table. Your call.
I got no problem taking the werewolf's money.
Oh, ouch. Nice try. Okay, fine. Let's go. You guys go and you start to play pool. We're not going to roll for it. We can say that Bernard wins. It's not a huge deal. You are a better pool player by far.
Yeah.
You also know that Troy Walsh is 107 years old as of October 14th, so him calling you old man is a joke between you.
Yeah.
As you guys continue your discussion about work and where you've been, he looks at you and says, "Have you started noticing that more and more shit seems to be bioengineered? That we're running into a lot of things that shouldn't exist? Bioenhanced, engineered. Because we've been seeing some shit in Chicago, and I don't know where it's coming from. They keep talking about shell companies. Somebody's behind it. I don't know what. And apparently I'm not high enough on the payroll to find out. Have you heard anything?"
No, that makes two of us. I haven't heard much of anything. We just, well, I'm sure you know what we just encountered.
I heard you guys had yourself some al dente sushi down in the bayou. Don't get gas station sushi. It's not great.
No, been there. Yep, big old fucking fish. Big teeth.
Yeah.
Big teeth.
Heard you guys ran into a little sprig of sage that decided to start talking to you.
Wait, did we?
I mean, that would be Orpheus.
Oh, sage.
Your teammate. Do I need to go back and have it? Oh, I heard you guys met a talking bush that decided to come home with you.
Oh no, we can leave it in there. Sorry, I was stumped for a second.
He's thinking cinnamon bark. You should have said, "My stripper name's Cinnamon from now on." It's canon.
I was like, wait, was there another little guy? Because the thing I met was 8 feet tall. Yeah, he's all right. Doesn't talk a lot. I like him.
Are you up for training a new agent? I mean, they make me do that every time I get grounded for collateral damage, but still.
I think he just kind of looks around the bar like, I'm not training anybody.
All right, no, that's fair. It's probably not best unless it's a drinking competition.
Cheers.
Cheers. We will cut from you to a very different bar. Think neon lights in a dark corner. Arkham, Kansas. Yes, it's been given a name. Arkham, Kansas has one goth bar with loud rock music, neon lights, fog machines, and black lights inside. It is known as Fang Bangers. Now,
I
love it.
assume Rob Zombie Dracula is the only song they play.
Yeah.
it might be.
I'm just picturing like Blade Trinity where they go.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of leather, lots of piercings, lots of loud music, and lots of folks who are into something which I don't judge. Some people juggle geese. As we enter this bar, we see a number of people. Actually pretty full for a small-ish medium town in Kansas. Now, the people in Arkham know that a lot of weird stuff happens around here that doesn't always get explained. What they don't know is that Fang Bangers is one of the few bars which is legally licensed to allow vampires to hunt in it. That means when they show their hunting permit and show that, hey, I'm here to take someone home and feed on them, it's legal and it's allowed. These people are tracked far more than they think they are. They're watched, and eventually, if they've been fed on, we'll know. And when they die, they'll have to be cremated or they'll come back as vampires. That might be 30 years from now, but our records are fairly precise because when we miss something, people die. Inside this bar, we have the motley crew of the year. Various folks, various people, men, women, you name it, it's there. But in one dark corner, far in the back, away from where all the lights are, we find Marcellus. He sits there quietly. What would you be drinking? Would you be drinking, or are you on the job? This is not a drinking situation.
No, I don't think he's on the job. I think this is just his time away to escape and not think about the job.
Okay.
Like, for the few hours he gets in a week to not think about work, this is where he's at, drinking probably just some rum or something like that.
Okay.
And cocktail, something like that, just to relax.
As you were sitting there, I need you to roll. Give me an act under pressure. Let's see what you notice.
Ooh. Fancy dice.
It's a 9. It's not. I mean, it's going to turn into like a 12 or something, but it's
10.
It's a 10.
Ooh, big success.
You look around this room and you can see what would appear to be 3 drunk young vampires in the corner. Now, in order for a vampire to get drunk, that means they fed on somebody that had something in them. Whether
They're blood
it's,
drunk.
They're blood drunk. Whether it's they actually had human actually had drugs in their system before they drank them, or if they're just kind of high because they're so young. And you can tell that just by sensing it. These 3 vampires are looking at you from across the room and whispering to each other. You
Can
know.
I hear them?
You know they're whispering, and you know they're whispering about you.
I was going to say, because you can normally hear, I know you can hear really well, but it might be because there's
But with the
music and all that.
That's why
yeah.
I'm wondering. That's why I figured I would ask.
You know that they're looking at you. You know it's about you, and you can sense when somebody wants to take a shot at the title. These 3 will spend the next half an hour drinking more and building up their courage before the clear leader, a gentleman with a spiked dog collar and a mohawk, walks up to your table, strafed by a young woman who clearly does not appear to actually enjoy this scene, but is here because this is where she can feed. She's wearing flannel, and the person on the other side is more of a, we'll say,
He's just kind of there.
he's just there. Again, he's not playing into the stereotype of the goth bar, just a well-dressed, well-meaning looking young black man. Both of them, all 3 of them, walk up to the bar, but clearly the man in front is their ringleader. He is their leader of the group.
Are they walking up to the bar, or are they walking up to my table?
They are walking up to your table. They are making a beeline. There is no mistake. They are coming to you. As they get closer, the man in front, clearly drunk, leans in and goes, "My sire says that the only reason you're in charge of this area is because you work for the government." I think that's bullshit.
I'm not in charge of this area because I work for the government. I'm in charge of this area because I was here before it existed.
Mic drop.
This individual looks at you with a confused, sort of blurry-eyed look, clearly not fully comprehending what you've just said to him. I think that's bullshit. I think that everybody says Marcellus is a big deal, and he's not. I think you're kind of a little bitch. Now, the 2 people standing behind him, the young woman's eyes get huge. This is not what she signed up for. She signed up for, maybe we can go and taunt him a bit, maybe we can actually talk to him. She's intrigued by you. She's heard the story. She knows who Marcellus is. As soon as the word, "I think you're a bitch," passes through his mouth, she's gone. This is not what she
bolts.
signed up for.
That's fair.
And the other gentleman, who is also standing behind him, looks at him with a "are you fucking stupid" look, but he stands his ground. This is his friend. He is going to see this through. His loyalty will be the end of him, but he is loyal to this fault. The man in front continues to stare at you as if his drunken, blurry eyes is going to intimidate you. What do?
I think Marcellus wants to make this a spectacle.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to make sure everybody in the bar can see what's about to happen. He's going to take his glass and smash it on the ground and stand up.
The
to kind
people,
of gather the attention of everybody in the bar.
the people nearby, the vampires that are nearby within that 20-foot radius, instantly feel pissed off 4th-gen vampire waves, where they are completely aware something is happening. All of them look, see what's happening, and then excuse themselves from the conversation they are in. Hunting is done tonight. Something is about to happen.
Yeah, or at least postponed.
And they want to go home.
Yeah.
They understand that when you take a shot at the champ, party's over.
Yeah.
Because now he has to lay down the law, and if anybody gets stuck in the middle of it, they will get just as much punished as anyone else.
Yeah.
The
Meanwhile,
humans,
Yeah, all the Chads and Brittany's just like, yeah.
Oh,
still far.
they're,
Big dick energy
they're
right
still
there.
doing their thing. The humans don't realize it. The vampires are very quiet about it because they also know if things get out of hand here and too many people get involved, they'll shut this place down. And right now, this
Right.
is their Denny's where they show
Yeah.
up to have a little fun and then take someone
I can
home.
just see them kind of slinking
Just
out or
on a
grabbing
side
their.
note, I don't know why I picked Denny's to be where people go out and pick someone up. I swear to God, I don't think I've ever been
I
to a
would
Denny's.
not pick up somebody at Denny's at 3 a.m. I could
But for some
promise you
reason,
that.
Ponderosa,
my
that
my
would've been
brain
worse.
really took it. I think of this as more like for where we're at, like Peanuts or
Yeah.
Corner
There's
Pocket.
not even a Denny's here.
We don't even have a Denny's.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
we
think
don't,
I've
do we?
ever eaten at a Denny's.
We used to have one.
Oh, it's been a long
We used to have
time.
one, but it was like when we were little.
Yeah, like no one ate there.
I just, as soon as I said you're picking someone up at a Denny's, I was like, that's really messed up.
Nope.
I don't know what that means. That's terrible. No, we're not doing that. But the vampires are leaving. The humans don't notice.
Yeah.
The band is far enough away that though 2 of them are vampires, they have not picked up on what is happening yet. They continue to play.
Yeah, they're
I
in the
feel like
zone.
the Gen 4 shockwave
Mhm.
just hasn't hit them yet.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, they got their
it's gotta
adrenaline
go
going. They're playing their music.
through so many bodies to get to them.
Yeah.
They're going to keep playing until they have to stop.
Yeah, people
All right.
and people kind of dip, while you're playing a set, like sometimes anyway. So they're probably seeing a couple vampires, like some are dipping on their own, and a couple are probably trying to get their dinner to go. Like,
I don't know. When they see about 6 or 7 vampires running for the door,
Yeah.
that might cause.
oh,
some
is that
tension.
the scene, or did they dip?
They're
dip?
not running. They're
Okay.
not
No,
dipping.
they're-
In my head, I
just
kind of
getting
see
out
them
of
like
dodge
just kind of
row.
like.
Yeah,
The one girl
It's-
bolted. She was
slinking
gone.
out.
It's
Okay.
like they look at whomever they're with or dancing and be like, oh, hey, I just remembered. I got to work in the morning. I'm really sorry. I got to go.
Yeah.
Or someone goes like, hey, do you want to get out of here right now? Can we get out of here?
Mass exodus.
It's a slow but clear, like the bouncers at this bar, even the human ones, are seeing the exodus of these people.
Yeah.
They know something is happening. The drunk continues to look at you with his blurry eyes and just goes, I'm not real worried about that class. What are you going to do about it? You some big show? I gotta tell you what. Gotta tell you what. My mom, my sire, she's fit. Yeah, I think she can take her ass easy. Which means I think I can too. I just bullshit. Me, Rex, I think I can take this shit and make it mine. So let's do this. And he starts like getting his arms out and like he's gonna do something.
Does the Henry Cavill from Mission Impossible?
Yeah, just had that quick little that little punch, and his fangs flick forward. So he thinks he's gonna do something here. His eyes start to go a reddish color. He is clearly challenging you.
Yeah. And Marcellus rips his heart through his ass.
No,
We'll see. We'll see.
Just
no,
kidding.
no. Because I've been
Grabbed
saving
by
this
the little
because
grace.
I haven't told
As a-
Sam about this yet.
Okay, what you got?
So, I think Marcellus is just gonna look at him and say, "I'm here hunting tonight, but unfortunately for you, I don't feed on the living. I feed on vampires."
Rex's friend begins to look at this situation and realizing he has a very bad losing hand, and taking the information that you've given him has decided, it's time to go now. And so he slowly disappears into the crowd. Rex is still standing in front of you. He is committed to, I don't think you're a big deal. And he takes a swing at you. Now, Rex is drunk, and it misses, and he falls across the table in front of you, making a commotion enough that the other humans around are now paying attention. Band's still playing, but people are starting to take notice. What do you do?
I'm going to grab him by the scruff of his neck, pick him up, and throw him into the center of the crowd. Right in front of the band.
Give me a kick some ass. Let's get a roll for that. Let's see what happens.
8.
All right. Okay, so you pick him up, and in your attempt to throw him, he's flailing, and he's screeching, he's hollering. You've picked him up, he's hammered. Everyone is paying attention to you to the point that the band has stopped. That is the negative. This is no longer two vampires having a conversation or having a fight. Now the entire bar is aware something is going on. Had you rolled a little higher, it would have been he lands somewhere, someone yells, "Mosh pit," and nobody realizes it.
No. My entire intent was to get everybody to pay attention.
Everyone in this bar is paying attention, which at this point, other than maybe the two vampires on stage playing instruments, are predominantly human at this point. Maybe the bartender's a vampire too. She is starting to reach underneath the bar for whatever shotgun, self-defense, ammunition she may need if this goes bad. Because young vampires do stupid shit.
Mm-hmm.
Where do we go from here? Rex is on the floor in the middle of the room. What do you do?
I'm going to jump on top of him, and I'm going to just crack him right across the jaw.
Okay, roll to kick some ass.
This will be the one I fail. Told you.
That is a 4. You need to mark some experience, my friend.
I'm okay with that.
It's good. Experience is fun.
I'm learning.
You go to crack him in the face on the ground. And at the last minute, what little control he can, he vampire speeds his head to the left. You crack your hand into the ground. Take 1 damage. Not bad. Nothing crazy.
I'm getting real like Drunken Master Jackie Chan vibes from. He's like,
That's how my dog broke his paw this week.
I don't take damage. I'm
Oh, it's -1 to any harm he takes to start because he's immortal. But you punch the ground cracks a bit. He looks up at you, and he tries to swing a hand at you. And again, dude's just too hammered for what he's trying to do. This is not his shining, glowing, I'm a hero moment. This is the I'm the drunk asshole who's going to ruin the party. He manages to go too far up, and so more or less smacks you with his wrist. You'll take no damage from that. What do you do?
I think Marcellus is starting to get to the irritation point. And so I think he might start to lose his cool a little bit. Even though he's 1,100 years old, this guy's just pissing him off. And I think he's going to go for a bite, man. He's going to drain him.
Oh, he's going full in?
He's going full
Fang
in.
bang him.
He's gonna bite and drain him.
Okay, that is a kick some ass roll. One of your attacks is using your fangs.
And he's got a card that he can feed.
And he's
so it's legal. Son of a bitch.
Ooh, that's a 3. That's more experience. That's not bad though.
oh, I was gonna say too, because one of my moves is that one where you can get plus and minuses on the rolls depending on when he fails.
Yeah, but you're not there.
That's what I was going to say is I'm not there, so there's no way that we're not going to... Okay, just wanted to...
You're not there.
The only way I think is if I would hear about it.
And you might hear about it, but you won't have details.
Okay.
All right, so you cock your head back. Your fangs extend out, and you go for the big bite. But one of the humans nearby, seeing you attack another presumably human, decides to step in and play Good Samaritan. He grabs you by the hair on the top of your head just as your fangs are about to make connection, and he yanks and pulls you off of him. You are now separated. You take no damage, but you are no longer in that intimate range with Rex, who is beginning to stand up with you. And now you have a human who's trying to get between you two. What do you do? On a side note, I'm perfectly okay with you continuing to use these dice. These dice are fine now. Things are far more interesting when
so
we get
far,
failures
Rex's,
every once in a while.
Assumption is being proved correct.
It'll happen. Just wait.
Just wait.
It's
Just
gonna
wait.
happen.
When he rolls the 12 and somebody dies.
Yeah.
I think I think Marcellus would look at the human and charm him, say, "This is not your business. Go away."
Make me a weird roll. Let's do that. That'll be magic.
10.
This
Sorry.
human looks at you and instantly back straightens up a little bit, and as if it was his own idea, walks away. Walks up to the bar to get another drink. Nope, not my problem. Oh, my bad, dude. Walks away. Perfect, like a charm. He will not be back, and everyone else saw you do this. The room is still focused on you. Rex is standing. You are standing. What happens now?
I'm gonna tackle Rex to the floor.
Okay. Give me a roll.
Kick some ass, I assume, correct?
Yes.
8.
Okay. You tackle this guy. You are coming in. You hit him. In his attempt to stop you, he does put his arms kind of out, almost in like a catching motion. You run into him. Those arms go back. You are not going to hit the floor, but you have done some damage to Rex because you hit him like a fucking freight train. I assume we're using some of that vampire speed.
It's vampire.
So, like, Rex isn't particularly great. You have done some damage to him as things have progressed. You are now standing together, arm in arm, face to face. What do you do?
I'm going for the bite. Going for the bite, man.
All right. Give me a roll, but I'm going to give you a +1 forward on this. That means you're getting a +1 because
I get it anyway because of the speed. Since I sped toward him.
Then you add another one.
+1, so I get
Add another one because at this point, he is starting to realize that if anything you had done had made contact, he would already be out cold.
Okay.
He is
Makes
starting
sense.
to have that moment where it's, no, this is a big fucking deal.
The
in the middle
starting
of
to sober him up.
It's he just told that guy to go away and he just left. This isn't a joke anymore. Like, he is coming out of that drunken haze where he is about to kill me in a
Lost the
room full of
pissing
humans.
contest.
Yeah. His pissing contest just turned into a
fucking funeral. I mean, it's
I gambled on a fart, boys.
he is realizing, oh shit, I think I just made a huge mistake. I thought he might toy with me and put me in my place. I was not expecting to die today.
Right.
So give me a kick some ass roll to bite this fool with +2.
I might turn that into a metal song, by the way. This pissing contest is now a funeral. I think that.
I ain't bad.
I think
would
it is
listen to
now
that
because
song.
that's a 12.
I'm assuming you're going to do extra damage, put them where you want them, because anytime you roll 10 or above, you get a little extra oomph to that ability.
Well, my bite automatically does 4 damage.
Yeah, okay.
So
Do you want to do more?
I want
Dry.
to drain everything out of him.
Now,
I want to feed on him hard.
do you want to take this moment, or would you like me to do it? Do you want to tell us what happens, or do you want to tell me what I'm saying?
No, you're the storyteller.
Oh,
man.
Sam.
I love it.
You grab Rex. You manage to strength your way past his arm that's trying to hold you back. You grab him by the head, and you rip to the left. It's to the right, but you guys didn't see that. But I think
His
it's
left,
important
our
to be
right.
honest. See, he saved me. He knew what was up. Your fangs pop out, and you bite into this dude's neck. You start draining. And by the time that body is an empty Coke can, you have been so angry you have ripped what's left of his head off in your hand. You are literally double doodle straw this guy's like aorta and veins in his neck. You are missing nothing. Blood is all over these humans, and Rex is gone. As you stand there, blood all over your face and suit, holding his head, what do you say to this crowd?
I feel like Marcellus is powerful enough in his hidden nature that we know of to mass charm with some magic.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
I was wondering if you were gonna.
No, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a weird. I'm gonna put it at a -1 just because there's so many people here. I think that's
Okay.
fair.
Well, so does that offset with my +1 ongoing?
The ongoing. What was the ongoing from?
For
The
Rex,
speed.
The
isn't it?
speed.
The speed is a +1 ongoing.
Okay, you are no longer speeding.
Right.
We will take
Oh, that's
that
fair.
away
Yeah, okay.
because you ran in and
Yeah.
you got that, and
Then
you got your hit,
The extra +1 was for the fury.
and then yeah. So you're starting standard,
Okay.
just one
Just a
-1 because this is a big room full of
Yeah.
people.
Okay.
Okay, and this is not to like further try to nerf what you're doing, but I'm just curious. We talked about the other vampires like being somewhat blood drunk.
Mhm.
I'm just curious. Would you now?
Well,
be,
no,
drunk
he
as
was
Marcellus.
He's 1,100 years
he's
old.
11.
I was
years
just
old.
curious. Like
It's
just like
not
he just
gonna-
like just drained a dude. I was just like I was just not to like try to nerf you, and like we obviously narratively want
you're
these people
good.
to be charmed,
No,
but
so with,
you know.
with him being 1,100 years old and his hidden nature that we know about
Okay.
that our listeners have yet to learn about,
Okay. So you
Not
can
really
just
gonna
chug
do
this
anything
fucking
to him.
can of Bud Light,
Yeah.
and you're good.
and
You're
I
He literally-
can shotgun it and I'm fine.
He
Okay.
literally cracked the cold one, drank it, and he's going to drop it to the side. It just depends on how the
Right.
crowd will
Okay,
react.
all right.
for
Right,
you.
yeah.
If you don't
Cool.
stone cold stunner the next person you see, we can't be friends.
So with the -1, that's a 7.
Ooh, all right. Okay.
Woo.
You are not strong enough to convince this crowd they saw nothing. However, you point at the band and go, I love these guys. They're the best band in town. They start playing again. Everyone there thinks this was part of the show.
I'm okay with that.
Everybody there thinks
That's
That's
less
the way-
paperwork for me.
that this was an act put on for a show.
You know, and
And everybody starts giving you high fives. Oh, I didn't even see the wire work. How'd you do that? I presume with this many humans trying to tell you how awesome you are, you're probably more annoyed than flattered.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Now, when the other vampires come up, I'll probably be a little
Oh,
more...
they're gone.
He's
Oh,
at
they-
full chunk.
oh,
Yeah, they
They
did
don't
get-
know you.
Yeah.
They just know if he just is about to kill somebody, and if any of them saw you eat him,
They know who I am, but
they
they
know
don't
who
know
you
me
are,
personally.
but they don't know there's a person you
yeah,
are.
this was your.
They're gone.
All
You
they
know,
saw is me
find
get
out.
pissed.
They expected
Yeah.
you to tear humans apart in this bar because most vampires at your age, wanton damage means nothing. Humans dying is collateral damage, and they were like, I gotta go, don't want to be a part of this, I ain't being collateral damage. That is your reputation, that you made the 8 vampires hunting for their meal tonight leave as soon as you went F your couch, Rex. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, and this
Leave
this
me
was
alone.
your Dracula putting the bodies on the stakes. Like,
This
Oh,
was
yeah.
your. This story will get out.
yeah.
The band following your lead. People are gonna know what happened.
So
here.
the vampires in the band are the only ones left?
They are the only ones other than the
Bartender.
bartender.
Okay. Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah, that's right.
As soon as you pointed at the band and gave them the hurrah and they started jamming again, her hands leave the shotgun she's got under
Okay.
the bar and she starts passing out beer again. Because they've been charmed to believe this is a part of the show, nobody's going to clean that body up tonight until everyone leaves.
Right.
People will kind of avoid it. They just assume it's a prop.
Looks so real.
It looks so
Somebody's
real.
taking selfies. with it.
I just
Come on
Somebody's
now.
taking selfies.
somebody's
with it.
selfies with the head like the kink. I'm gonna put this on my Instagram.
This is way better than Guar.
Jesus. I didn't realize this band was so big that they could do these kind of effects. I thought Jimmy played out of his garage.
I'm gonna go up behind the band and go, "You're welcome and thank you."
They're just like thumbs up.
Just- All right, so now it's been, we'll say, an hour or two since your interaction. You've been doing your drinking with Troy at the bar. Orpheus has been sleeping. Your beepers go off. Well, Orpheus's beeper, your guys' technology that, isn't from the 80s, goes off. You've got a job to do. What do we do?
Okay,
Well,
so
I'm gonna go home and change first.
yeah,
I'm
I like
covered
the
in
idea of you
blood.
just rolling in.
I'm
Like,
covered in gore.
Just covered in blood and just be like,
Yeah.
what?
Jacques,
Actually, yeah, I kind of like that. I think I will just show up covered in blood. That kind of makes the story a little more
Hair
interesting.
messed up, just not having it.
Yeah.
Just walks
just
in
with
and
an
plops
angry
down.
look just on his face. Just what?
Okay. And so I would presumably have got this. I was at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
And did he come with? Did we?
I would
Obviously-
assume Troy got it too if he's working.
Right.
tonight.
Yeah. So we get there. So we're walking in this room, and you're already there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
I'm
so-
just sitting there, just pissed off.
All right. I just walk in, like, have yourself a snack.
I'm not in the mood, Bernard.
Fair enough. I take my seat.
Troy does not follow you in. When he gets to the building, he goes a different direction. So this will just be you guys. Orpheus, I'm sorry, I spoke over you. What's up?
Good. Jacques, what is this? What does this mean? I do not know.
This little wasp creature starts to point his little razor blade spear toward the door. He makes his one antenna kind of wiggle a little bit,
Waking up.
and he does the little like eye to eye thing, and then he puts all of his arms up like a monster. He's trying to tell you that Emily has requested your presence, but has no way of knowing that you've never met her.
Jacques, slow
It's the
down.
closest a wasp can do to a hiss.
Okay. This makes sense to me. But where? That doesn't make sense. I'll figure it out. Up. Okay, upstairs. Thank you, Jacques. Thank you.
Man, I really wish we had. This was a video medium. This is great.
There's no weird sexual tension like B movie, right?
Well,
right.
we'll let the audience decide. A little fanfic.
A little bit of fan fiction. You and Jock, 8-foot tree,
Oh God.
2-inch wasp man. That's love. It's love.
Hey everybody, it's Cameron. I know I normally stop in about halfway through the episode, and I couldn't find a good stopping point, so we went after the stopping point to run our ad for a friend we made in the community. This week, the ad is for a show called Roll Call, who we met on Twitter, and we've had some conversations, and I think they're a fun show. You can find it on YouTube, and yeah, I'll go ahead and I'm going to play the ad for you, and please go give them a shot. Thank you. Bye.
Me and my buddies would go over to, the trampoline and we'd hang out and so long, friend. And he's just gonna use all his movement speed, and he's just gonna just. Can I just go bobbling? Roll call. Do you want some more? Kid, I'm gonna just go ahead and take over. Now I remember. Shut your mouth. Let me tell you how it went.
Okay, everybody, that was Roll Call. You can find them on YouTube. Make sure you give them a like and a subscribe and leave some kind words on their videos. And if you want to, I will leave a link to their show in our show notes today so you can have an easier time finding it. All right, well, let's go ahead and get back to our show, shall we?
So you guys get into the conference room. You three arrive first. Do you want to have a brief conversation before we get started with one another? Just like a check-in? Your guys'
would have
call.
some questions.
Okay, I think when he just walks in, Bernard's just kind of like, hey, got some refreshments over there. Anything you like? Maybe some root beer?
You were such a dad.
What is this all about? Am I in the right place? What do you keep in that bottle I see you drink all the time, Bernard?
It's definitely not root beer. Call it bourbon. I'm sure they had that 300 years ago, right?
Bourbon.
Want some?
Bourbon seems so familiar to me.
It
Yes,
burn-
I will try some.
It burns, but it tastes good after a while. Holds
Rob
up
is
acid rain.
actually drinking bourbon at what I assume is 8 a.m. in Colorado.
It is now 10 a.m.
Okay, gotcha.
I had my
It's noon
breakfast.
here.
I had my caffeine.
Okay, so we've had our little banter. And I think we're just kind of. Oh, wait, well, did he take the bourbon? Did he try it? Did he like it?
Yeah. What was Orpheus's reaction to this I mean, in his time, it was probably more of gut rot than anything else, but this is far more refined than anything you probably would have had. With respect, you were a poor man in Louisiana living out in the woods.
Well,
real
as
quick,
a
I will say,
backstory,
I don't want to super cut you off, but I will say, I think this is pretty good bourbon, too. I think that a lot of things that he is like pretty cheap, just eats peanut butter in that, but I think he enjoys like a good bourbon. Like, he'll drink bad bourbon.
So are we talking like only 200 bottles are made, Pappy Van Winkle tastes like butter?
No, I mean, I
are
think...
we talking my angel's envy here?
I don't know what that means, Rob.
Because I don't know bourbon
$70
that
bottle.
well.
Shit, that's what that means.
I think he'd probably be around that range. Yeah, I think about like I think of course he will like on the road he'll get what he
You're
can
not
get.
sponsored. I just enjoy
Everything
angel's
in
envy.
Denver is
But I-
$70.
But I think what he's got in his little sipping flask
It's
that he
only
would have
getting
right
worse.
now is probably like a pretty good something that he enjoys the taste of.
Okay.
So just
So you're not drinking Jim Beam in the
No.
flask. You're drinking something
he's not above it.
a little bit more. Yeah. I mean, you like when you can supply your own, it's all about finances and funds, but you're drinking something that is classy.
Yeah, maybe that matters later, but just to put that on there.
I mean, that higher alcohol content can come into play later if you need it to.
Yes.
How does Orpheus feel about bourbon? How did he feel about that?
Sam,
Mm-hmm.
we had some conversations about my character's backstory. Bourbon would have been a ritual drink.
Okay.
I feel like I would feel it's reminiscent, and I feel like I would like it, but I wouldn't know why.
Yeah.
I really don't know how to put that into contextual characterization of Orpheus.
Okay.
I'm definitely open to some help on this. Reminds me, and maybe he doesn't say anything beyond that.
In that moment,
reminds me.
as you utter the phrase, "This reminds me," we, in your mind, are transported back to a small wooden cabin out in the bayou. We are sitting across from a woman that, though you do not recognize, and in this memory's face may be a bit blurry, you are sitting at a table that is candlelit. On this table are various things. We don't want to be racist, we don't want to be assumptive, but think what you would find by somebody practicing hoodoo in this time frame. At this table, there's an older black gentleman with a gray beard wearing a large straw hat. Sitting across from him is another black gentleman with white face paint and a top hat. We know, as our audience, that these are two Loa who are here to visit with this woman across the table from you, that in your mind, in this moment, the word wife comes to mind. You are sitting playing cards with the gods of her religion, the people that she makes deals with and interacts with to navigate her world.
Literal goosebumps. Literal goosebumps. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah, and this caught me so off guard too. Like, not to like take away from. I want you guys to get back into it, but I was like, we were just having a little conversation, and it tripped the whole thing. This is cool. I like this. I'm into it.
That bourbon incites in you this short, tiny memory, but what you walk away from this is the word wife. At some point, you had a wife, and in that moment, you vaguely remember the love you felt for her. That is what this tiny sip of bourbon has given you today.
Okay, I think I grabbed the flask back as he's just kind of staring, and I'm just kind of like, don't get all sappy on me. Take it.
God, you're so, that's good though. That's good. Such a good. Don't be all sappy. Don't be like that. Don't be doing these things.
Well, he would not have shared that with you, but you could
No, for
probably
sure.
see some sentiment in his eye.
Yeah, like he just kind of had like just a little moment. And I think
Bernard, this reminds me. I do thank you for this experience. I do not know what this reminds me, but it felt good.
it's funny. I usually drink
Shall
it to
we
forget.
continue?
It was good. No, it was well played. Your boss walks in the room. Emily, who we met last time, enters the room with a file folder in her hands. She stops and looks at all three of you. Marcellus, you look like shit. Where have you been? What happened?
I was at Fang Bangers. I had a bad night.
She instantly rolls her eyes as soon as the words "fangbanger" comes out of your mouth.
A younger vampire decided he wanted to pick a fight with me. It didn't end well for him.
Is it taken care of, or do we need to start filling out paperwork and get the mages involved to clear memories?
Nope, I took care of it.
At least you can clean up your own mess. That is appreciated. Orpheus, I believe, as she looks at the large plant man sitting across the table from her.
He will extend a viney, giant branched arm.
Without missing a step, she will take that hand, and she will shake it. My name is Emily Gorganas. I am the one making sure that you are perfectly capable of being an agent with us if that is something that you are interested in. Don't ever be afraid to come to me with questions, comments, or concerns. I'm here to make sure that you can do your job for me. Whether you believe it or not, it's my job to care about you enough to make sure that you can do what I need you to do and be okay after.
Mademoiselle Emily, I do not understand all, but these two are good. I will do as you ask.
She looks at Bernard and Marcellus. Marcellus covered in blood. Bernard perpetually drunk. If you say they're good, then you must be seeing something on the inside that I do as well. Just don't let them get you into too much trouble. If it feels wrong, it probably is. And she goes back and she opens up her file folder. Bernard, how drunk are we tonight?
Solid 6, I think.
Alright, that's still workable for what you've got going on. We have had an energy spike. It has been in an area outside in Ohio. Give me one quick second here. You may need to cut this out. I need to make sure I find it because I did all the research. Okay. The energy spike appeared in an area south of New Athens, Ohio. It's shortly north of Bannock and Fairpoint. This is an area traditionally made of woodlands. We were watching it. It's been happening for about a week. But in the last 48 hours, it's spiked. The PKE levels are off the chart, which means ghost energy of some kind. Unfortunately, that area of land has been redacted from the U.S. government's statements. We can't figure out what's there or why this would be happening. You will be sent to the airport in Parkersburg, Ohio. It is only about 35 miles away. There, Troy Walsh will be your pilot for the evening. He will be your overwatch. We're not sure what to expect. He will have you then. He will be your oversight, your overwatch, your in, and your out. You need to be careful. As of this moment, we have one of our top researchers, Stevanovich, inside of the...
Well, good news is, as long as we don't have to play pool, this guy should be able to help.
What part of Ohio are we looking at, Sam? Central, south, northwest, northeast,
I believe it is middle southeast. You're not
you.
that far
Is
from
that
the
the
West
part
Virginia
that's
line.
for lovers?
It could be. As far as I know, Ohio is for lovers, period. I don't know.
It's Virginia's for lovers.
You
Was
you
it
will be in
Athens, Ohio, or
contact.
New Athens?
I thought you
Was
said
it New Athens, Ohio?
It's
Is that
just
what you said?
Athens.
Athens,
Athens, Ohio.
I was like, New Athens.
It is. It might be New Athens. It's teeny tiny. It's a teeny tiny little town.
Athens, Ohio.
And we have reached out to our man inside of the Smithsonian, Stevanovich. He is a bookworm rescued from Russia. He is one of our top researchers and has access to every piece of information that the Smithsonian has. They have amazing minds and the capability of retaining things. If we don't know it, you can always reach out to him. She then gives you all a card with Stevanovich Undarko's number. This is a bookworm founded in Russia. You may not know this, but I think it's important to see in your mind. This is basically a giant millipede, capable of walking around the basements of the Smithsonian and reading every single cataloged book that exists there.
Man, that grosses me out.
As a bookworm, it is driven. It creates food by reading and taking in information. He is a good guy, and he will do his job the best he can. If you need to reach out to him, he will answer.
Okay. Man, I hope nobody judges me on the way I spelled Stevanovich, because I spelled it exactly the way it sounds, and I'm sure that's not the way it
I mean,
goes.
he's my character, and I don't think I spell it the same way every time, so you're cool.
Oh, man. Okay. All right.
Mademoiselle Emily, thank you for this information. Bernard? Marcellus? This area, Ohio, is it still by the Shawnee? They are a fierce and noble tribe.
No.
Are they still strong?
I think there's
Not
a
so
middle
much.
school named Shawnee, and they haven't won anything
It
in
is.
a while.
I'm looking it up. That is the dominant tribe for most of.
no.
It
You
hit it.
is. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
as far as like when
Yeah, in
He's
character, you're telling me
talking.
no. Yeah,
when he's talking, like
it's old.
time period.
I'm speaking 300 years.
yeah. Then they were huge.
That's
but now
that's
Yeah.
1721. Like, yeah, they're
they
still
were
in
big
charge.
there, but not as much as they were back
Emily
then.
looks sad. And she looks at you even though you were talking to Bernard. She reaches out and she touches your arm. Unfortunately, the humans in this country made some poor choices. The Shawnee are not what they once were. They still are proud people, but you probably won't be interacting with any of them this evening. That is a piece of history that you should probably learn. We learn from our mistakes. Hopefully the humans will as well. She leaves the room. She excuses herself. You have the information you need. You know you're taking a portal to this place in Ohio where Troy is waiting for you at this moment. What would you guys like to do before you head out?
Change my clothes.
No, you're bloody all night. I'm kidding. You can do that, of course.
So, I guess
Put
this
a
would be a
tampon
point.
in.
Maybe where we would use some gear points, or I might. So we had PKE Skypes,
Mhm.
spikes,
Mhm.
and so I'm guessing Bernard would know to go to whatever armory or whatever it is that we
Well,
have.
here's the thing: is you're probably not going to need gear points because they're probably going to provide us with.
Okay, that's okay.
The
I can give you that.
essential ghost hunting items.
Yeah,
'cause
that's
they
all I
know
kinda
it's
wanted
ghost
to go
energy,
get.
so they're going to provide us. With
I don't know
something.
what exactly they would want to give us. I don't
They're
know.
going to give us PKE signature meters.
Think the little device used in Ghostbusters.
Okay.
The PKE meter,
Okay.
the levels raise.
and it's
um,
also used in 15 other movies. The exact same
Yeah.
item.
I
Oh,
mean,
really?
It's the same item, but they don't always call it the same
No,
thing.
Yeah.
it's always
But-
used for something different, but it's the exact same.
I
thing.
realize this is Cameron's house, but in this world, we follow Ghostbusters because it's the shit.
That's fine. I'm cool with that.
1984 or bust, my friends. Every
I
time.
swear to God, if we get there and it's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man,
It's no.
I'm gonna smack you.
You guys are good. You're good.
Orpheus
You would be given
might
a PKE
still
meter?
explore the armory to try to better understand. He might present these coins very ignorantly.
I mean, it's not a coin.
What can you bring me
It's-
to help?
You know,
It's
that might not be a terrible
currency.
idea to make the gear points actually a coin. That
All
we
right.
can
Thinking like John
exchange.
Wick, the gold
So
coin.
an actual form of currency that we can exchange instead
Okay.
of having to buy things.
All right, we'll
with
have to
money.
give it a different name, but we can do John Wick organization. This is what this is and how
The
you
continental
use it.
coin, yeah.
We can try something like that. If
Yeah.
you guys are interested, we can
Yeah,
build that
might not
world
be
in
a
that
terrible
direction.
I like
idea.
If everyone's in for that, I'm okay with it. Kind of a, you can take it anywhere where monsters are, and generally most establishments will accept it. It is worth quite a fortune.
Yeah,
And you-
perhaps we could use it outside of gear for like some other advantage. We'll see.
Yeah,
Time will
we
tell.
can play with that. I'm okay with a continental feeling here. I'm all right with that. We can play with
Okay,
it. I've
thank
never done
you.
it before, but I like it.
So
what is-
Orpheus
yeah,
would
what's he
like
looking
to
for?
just walk down to the armory that was kind of glossed over by Bernard, and he would walk up to the armorer.
Mhm.
You got a voice
Hello.
ready? You better get one
I
ready.
am Orpheus. I understand I am going to the land of the Shawnee. What can you present me to aid on my conquest?
Sir, I have to let you know that that's not really how this works. You have to tell me what you want, and then I can provide it. This is a younger man. Pimples on face, voice cracking. He appears to have a hairy scaliness to him. You're not 100% positive what this creature is, but you know it's not fully human.
You know he's in puberty.
But you know he's hitting puberty, which is probably where the hair and the scales are coming from.
Garçon, do not be so nervous. I am new here. I do not understand this world. If you can offer no suggestion, then say as much. But I am requesting your help. And if you can offer none, I will take my leave.
Oh, what do you already have?
Do you not see me, boy? Do you not see me, garçon?
The Lenny just came out of him right there.
Yeah.
Good note.
Yep.
Okay, so I, as your GM, don't have your list of things in
Yeah.
front of me. I don't know what you have per se.
Yeah.
Because
Your
you
gear, what
started
gear you
as
have.
one player and you've switched. I don't think you have anything, do you?
No, I don't. I
Okay.
have the hardened tree arm with the barbed vines.
Okay.
I am my weapon.
Okay.
You given me the mask that gives me a plus/minus on magic, but outside of that,
Say, I don't think he actually has gear.
I say he
and
does
you
don't.
wouldn't be like
Yeah.
wearing
I
the
am.
mask, right?
I
Like,
am
that's-
my weapon.
No,
inside
it's
his body.
inside of
Yeah.
him. That was a character choice. All right. So this kid looks at you, kind of nods his head. He's like, "You're working on the PKE thing, right?"
That is what Mademoiselle Emily said to me.
All right, give me a minute. He walks back. He comes up holding a single barrel, one-shot shotgun. He hands this to you. This will cost you all 3 gear points, but the only ammunition you are getting with it is rock salt ammunition. This should work on ghosts really well. You don't even have to be good at aiming. Just point it and shoot.
This I am very familiar with. I have seen guns like this.
This is a sawed-off version of a 12-gauge single barrel, which means it's short and there's only a handle. No
Sam,
stock.
I'm reminded of the time that we went to Roush and we shot skeet, and I missed everything, and you stood beside me and you said, "Do you mind if I do some cleanup duty here?"
I'm
and I
a
only
little
hit
bit
the
of an
last
ass.
3. I missed the first 17, but I hit the last 3.
You did well. We had fun. That's what matters.
So I'm curious.
It was the
is,
first time taking that single shot shotgun out.
Is he gonna
yeah.
take the weapon? I'm curious because, like, what does this even look like in his hand? Like, is he just gonna have
yeah,
to use like a
like-
little vine to like pull
Is
this?
this something
I
that...
mean,
Because I know that
It's
you have
it's
the one big
hand-esque.
rock hand, and then
Yeah.
do you have a human-esque hand?
well, I kind of imagine him as this
Proportionate.
shifting form,
Okay.
and he's not inherently static in his nature.
Mhm.
And so when he's in combat, maybe that right hand solidifies. It becomes a solid. Those fingers become less finger-like and then become more club-like, and then the vines grow around it. I imagine when he's not in combat, that wood recedes a little bit, and he's humanoid
Okay.
in appearance. And so if he's not using himself as the weapon, he has a hand.
Okay. We could do that.
But
That's shifting
in a moment
difference.
of combat, he kind of, the vines overtake, the energy
So
grows
I'm
around
hearing
him.
that Orpheus gives really weird hand jobs.
Yeah, sometimes it's a hand
Hey,
job.
we don't
sometimes
kink
you
shame
get
here.
your dick
We
You don't
don't
beaten
kink
by a
shame. No,
boar.
if plants
Yeah.
are your thing, you do you. I just want to... How I'm picturing it. So it's vines. The wood can recede. Vines can come forward. There can be a hand. It can literally be a cat of 9 tails covered in thorns where your hand used to be. A lot
Or
of
a
weird,
lance.
kinky wood stuff.
So the only thing I guess Orpheus would say to the armorer, "You have done well here, Garçon. I do thank you for this. Will this aid me in the future?"
You might have to get different ammunition for it, but I mean, it's a shotgun. It goes boom every time.
Very well then. Here is my coin.
All right. He takes those 3 coins and he waves you off. He's kind of a pleasant, like, oh, you look terrifying, but he's not so bad. You go back upstairs and you meet a freshly changed Marcellus and a Bernard casually, not casually and affectionately petting a shotgun as you guys all begin to head down toward the basement to step through the portal to take you to where you're headed in the Ohio airstrip. As you walk through, there's a loud snapping noise.
And with that snapping noise, the episode comes to an end. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Anarium, and please go check out our friends at Roll Call. This episode was a lot of fun, and the next one is just as much fun. Can't wait for you guys to hear it.
couple little things to clean up at the end here. I would love for all of you to go leave a comment on roll calls stuff, and please go leave a review for us on iTunes or wherever it is that you listen to us. They really, really, really help us find new listeners. Again, thank you so much for helping us get over 225 total downloads. I can't wait for you to hear what we have in store for the next episode. Bye.